All the silver tongue sits and cartoons that rule my world. I have a problem. Hey guys, welcome. My name is Matt Black, and this is the podcast. And I do apologize for everything. Anyway, no, I have a problem. I have a massive problem. I have a problem. Bro, I think I need to rehab it. My issue is that I uh I start thinking and saying stuff before I turn the mic on. So by the time I turn the mic on, I've already said all the good stuff. Legit. By the time I turn the mic on, I've said all of the really good stuff, or I've already posted it. Okay? It's very, very seldom, very rare that I ever, what do you call it? Turn the mic on, record it, and then post it. Or record it, then say it. Majority of the time, I've already posted what I'm going to say. So by the time I turn this mic on, it's kind of like, oh, I don't need to say it now. I've already said it. You already get what I was going to say. Chuck Schumer's a good guy. I like Chuck Schumer. He's a great guy. I met Chuck Schumer. I don't want to say where I met him. I feel like if I say where I met him, it would be like TMI, because then he'd probably be like, "Why would you say that?" I don't. He probably wouldn't say that. Actually, okay, I'm gonna tell you where I met Chuck Schumer. And Chuck, I do apologize. It might have been like an intimate issue. It might have been like an intimate occasion. I don't know, a family thing. But I met Chuck Schumer at the hospital. I met him at the hospital. It was a morning that I was at. I can't even tell you where I was, because if I tell you where I was, I'm going to be giving out too much information about myself and my personal life. I feel like there's a limit to how much of my personal life I actually want people to know. But it's like I'm like a complete open book, and I'm more than willing to tell you all these things about me. But at the same time, there's like a limit to how much I want to tell you. Like, do I want to tell you this particular thing? All I'll say is I met him at the hospital. I'm not going to tell you what hospital, but I met him at the hospital. And it was a morning. It was really early in the morning. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, too. And he had like Secret Service with him. He had two detail people with him. My parents were with me. Obviously, that's still TMI. And I was on my phone. I was playing a game on my phone. And then my mom, my mothers, they both looked up and they were like, "Oh my God, look, it's Chuck Schumer." I was like, "Who?" I'm sorry. They're like, "Chuck Schumer." I was like, "What are you talking about?" You're like, "You're a senator." I was like, "Oh shit, Chuck. Hi." And I know people are probably going to say, You didn't know who Chuck Schumer was? At the time, I had no idea who Chuck Schumer was. Never heard of him. At the time, I'd never paid any attention to politics. You couldn't tell me. The only thing I knew about politics at that point in my life was who the president and the vice president was. I didn't know who else was in there. I didn't know what Congress looked like. Congress could have looked like a rainbow. I would not have known. There could have been aliens sitting in on Congress. I would not have known. The House of Representatives, it could have been all freaking mafia or something. I wouldn't even know. I'd be like, I don't even know what's going on there. All I know is that guy is in the White House and signs some stuff, and that guy is just there. Besides him for that stuff, because I didn't pay attention to politics. Politics was not in the cards for me. The only thing I paid attention to was what I was actually doing with what was going on in my private life, and that's how it is for a lot of Americans. Believe it or not, it's the truth. There are a lot of Americans out there that have no idea who any of these people are. I swear to God, there are Americans out there that if you went up to them right now and asked them who Chuck Schumer was, they'd be like, who is Chuck Schumer? I'm not joking. If you went up to, there are Americans who don't know who AOC is. I mean, like living, breathing, actively, like they have real legitimate roles in society. They have jobs and children and families. And you'll tell them, oh, yeah, but AOC. And they're like, who the heck is AOC? I've never heard of Alexandria before. Because there are people who literally, there are people in this world who don't pay attention to politics enough to know who their local legislation is. Local legislators are. And it's the craziest thing. And I was one of them. But I was young. I was very young. And it's kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing to say. I'm sorry. It is embarrassing to say, but it's the truth. I think I only started paying attention to politics, I think that night, like the night after, because it was like, oh, Chuck Schumer, yeah, okay, cool. And I was like, all right, I gotta figure out who this guy is. And then I go look him up, find out who he is. And then from there, that's kind of when I was like pretty interested in who. I didn't know who Nancy Pelosi was. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had no. Listen. I'm not gonna tell you how old I was because it's embarrassing. I had no idea who she was. No idea. If you had come up to me at that point and said, "Yeah, well, Nancy Pelosi," Nancy Pelosi was not even in the conversation between my friends and I. That wasn't a thing. When me and my friends got together, the only thing that we talked about was music, art, drawing, graffiti, painting, creating. There was no politics in that room, ever. I've never spent any time talking about politics until until that hurricane. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I never really paid attention to it. Which is like the truth. I never had to. I was like, oh, did you know what? Fuck it. Even during the pandemic, I was editing. I mean, I was still paying attention to what was going on, but I was like majority editing, and I was like, you know. So like when I met Chuck Schumer, I was like, oh, now I got to now I got to pay attention to politics. And I'll be honest with you, politics is kind of annoying. It's so because it's like an emotion jerker. Like it jerks your emotions. Like you'll be having a good day. Yeah, oh my god, fun time. And then all of a sudden, politician diddly someone said, screw peanut butter. And all of a sudden, all of a sudden my entire day is ruined. That's it. He said screw peanut butter. What does he want to eat? Almond butter? What's going on? And then the next thing you know, politician diddly something revokes something for peanut butter and only wants cashew butter. Cashew butter? Are you kidding me? Cashew butter is like $2 more. What's happening, bro? He's like, and then all of a sudden, Congress agrees on something. almond butter, cashew butter, and peanut butter, something pricing same. You can't price gouge. Uh, Walnut butter. And it's like, what is going on? Next thing you know, you're sitting there like, I didn't even know there was walnut butter. And then 2 weeks later, you get another breaking news. Breaking news. Iran said there will only be hazelnut butter or something. And it's like, what? What is happening? What is going on? And like Brazil only wants cocoa butter. What? What is happening? That's literally, that's, I swear to God, that's how politics is. Politics is the most random thing. And the problem is, it's not random. It's people's lives that they mess with when they say certain things. They'll say, oh my God, we're going to, and I'm just like, come on. I was on a roll. It was like I was on a streak. Oh, come on. I was having a good day. And this guy came over here and told me, peanut butter is like $5 more now. Apparently, we're in an egg shortage. I didn't even know we were in an egg shortage. I haven't gone into a grocery store in so long. If you told me eggs were, I don't know how much eggs cost. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not know the price of an egg. Not a egg, but eggs. You know why? Because I'm one of those people who's like, I haven't gone into a grocery store in years. I don't even remember the last time I walked into a grocery store. Actually, that's a lie. The last time I walked into a grocery store was in 2023. Was the last time I walked into a grocery store. Like physically went. Actually, that's a lie. I went into a grocery store the other day. I was. I'm not gonna tell you what I was doing, but I was picking something up for someone, and I went into a grocery store. So that's a lie. But no, the last time I went grocery shopping for myself was in 2023. Typically, I just order my groceries like through what do you call it? Like DoorDash, Instacart, or Uber Eats, and that's not like a job to say like I'm so special. No, that's actually to say that I'm actually really lazy. So that is me saying that I'm incredibly lazy. That's not a good thing. I don't think anybody should be praising me for that. It's not a cool thing. Trust me. It's embarrassing. I shouldn't be saying that out loud. I'm just being honest. But I'm serious, dude. And then the crazy part, I saw a video on Instagram, or I think it was not Instagram, it was TikTok. And there was, I think it was like a Costco, or is BJ still a thing? I don't know. One of those large grocery stores. And in the grocery store, there was the eggs were like 30 something, 40 something dollars, and I thought it was a joke. I was like, why are eggs $35 for like, yeah, but it was like a large carton, like those massive cartons of eggs that people get. There are some, like, maybe some people have like a large family, or they have a large family and a lot of pets, and sometimes people with large families and a lot of pets, they'll get these massive trays of eggs with like 40, 50 eggs or something, I assume is on there, because I know it's definitely more than 12. And they'll get these massive cartons of eggs and they'll take it with them. And that one was like 30 something dollars, 40 something dollars. And I remember sitting there like, what? Why are eggs so expensive? So this morning, I wake up, I'm obviously going through the motions of my morning, because before I can even do anything in the morning, my morning starts off with texting. I'm texting the interns, and like, oh, what's going on? What are we doing? What's happening today? What's happening tomorrow? What are your schedules looking like for the rest of the week? I'm scheduling interviews. Who am I interviewing this week? When am I interviewing you? Getting down my interview paper, like what am I asking these people during interviews? Where do I think people will fit in? What this person can do, that other person can do. I have like 5 people. I don't know that other companies do this. Other companies may do this. They probably do. But I know that I've only ever had this happen to myself personally once before in history, in my lifetime history, where you send in an application for a job and then like they don't call you until like two months later you get a phone call from a job you applied to 2 months ago. Like you'll apply to the job in January and then all of a sudden in February you get a call back from that company. I have people like that where they've applied for the position, sent in their stuff, and I think that they will suit like a specific project or a specific job that I don't currently have. So I just hold on to like their information and like I message them like, hey, communicate, like open that line of communication between them and myself. And so then I'd sit there and I'm like, okay, I know that I want to put you somewhere. You seem like you'd be really great. Blah, blah, blah. Where do I put you? How do I fix this? I haven't built this part yet. So, when this part is done, I think I would like to open further lines of communication with you, etc., etc., etc. Then I have people who send in like applications, and I'm just like, I can't hire you. And I have people that send in applications, and I'm just like, honestly, I don't think you should be working here. I think you should be applying somewhere better, somewhere that you can do a lot better. Because sometimes I get applications from some of these interns. And as soon as I see their application, I'm dude, why you could be working at like a massive company, and then you look at these massive companies and you realize that they're not hiring, and it's like, all right, cool, well, this is really great talent, but I don't want this talent to go to waste because I haven't even fully concocted this part yet. And there's so much stuff that's like happening just essentially behind the scenes, not in like a good way either, because it's like very convoluted. It's like editing and graphic designing, and how much to let people in on, how much to let other people do. What's the graphics? What are the things that look like with YouTube and all these different things? It's so many things to consider, and so many other aspects of different things. It's so fucking weird. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. So it's about coming up with a plan, essentially, of attack for all of these things. Besides that, I mean, this morning was a morning. I saw Chuck Schumer, Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar is really good. I like that we're seeing more of her right now. Seeing more of her is pretty good. I think it puts her in a position to potentially run for president again, which I think is highly probable. I think she could run for president again because of where she's positioned right now. I know it's too early. It's too early in the in Trump's second term to talk about who can potentially run for president. But I'll tell you one thing: it's all about positioning. And as I've said before, you guys have got, if you want to run for president, you need to start positioning yourself immediately. Like, especially like Kamala needs to be like on her A game like right now. Like, she needs to be out there with all that stuff with the wildfire. She needs to be out there as well, just getting people on your side, keeping them on your side. Obviously, you don't want to drown the American people with your presence. You don't want to drown them. You don't want to be like, oh my God, so much of you. But you also don't want them to say, oh my God, where'd she go? Where'd you go? What happened? Where were you? We had like 15 different things happening. Now you show up 8 months later? What's going on? That's not what we want either. So you got to be at the forefront. And I think right now Klobuchar is in a good position if she is looking at potentially running for president. Because everybody, we want a female president, but we are not going to accept anything less this time around. And I think that now that Trump's in his second term, it's given you a good idea of what the American people want in some way. I was listening to a guy talk, I don't remember his name, on TikTok, and he said something that like I totally agree with, is meeting the American people where they are. That's what our politicians, specifically, our politicians that want to run for president and want to take a presidency bid. You know, you're gonna have to start meeting the American people where they are. Okay? Trump repealed this thing where he was talking about there's too many genders. There's only two, and then he was like, "There's too many genders." Dexy this, Demi this. I agree with him. I'm sorry. There was too many. There really was. I'm not joking. There really was. It was too much. It was too much. We were letting people run fucking wild. No, like it was way too much. Like, hear me out. Is there's two genders, male or female, right? And if you decide you want to be male, then transition to male. If you decide you want to be female, then transition to female. But don't come here and talk about, well, I'm a demigod. No, no, male or female. If you're transitioning to male, transition to male. You're not transitioning to alien BCD, okay? You're transitioning to male. You're transitioning from female to male. You're transitioning from male to female. Do that. But don't come here tomorrow morning talking about all this other stuff because it makes no sense. And then the whole thing about I'm not listen, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, but this is disrespectful. You can't say this." But it's the truth, though. Like it's honest. Like honesty is the truth. Like I hate to say it, but bro, this is like really the truth. Like it's too much. Literally, I saw a post on X this earlier today, actually, from this woman in the industry, entertainment film, actually. And she was going on about because you guys know, this is an update, by the way. So we recently had we just had this plane crash in over DCA where a military helicopter crashed into an American Airlines flight, and it was because the helicopter pilot was doing some retraining. I believe he was doing some retraining. I don't know. There could be any number of reasons why he was doing retraining. I don't know why he was doing why that particular person was being retrained. But whatever the case was, they were being retrained. They were being retrained at night, and there was obviously, according to President Donald Trump, there was a couple of different miscommunications that happened, and there was some communication that was happening between the pilots and the and air control, the FAA, and I guess things didn't go or happen fast enough, and as a result, the helicopter collided with the plane, and ultimately we had a very bizarre crash that occurred over DCA. These people fell into the Potomac. We lost quite a few figure skaters, young figure skaters, male, female, families. A man lost his wife and son. We lost mothers. We lost figure skating coaches. We lost people from foreign countries. We had a couple people over here in the U.S. from foreign countries, from England, from out in the U.K. We lost 2 U.K. citizens and a number of people. They're saying it isn't likely that we're going to find any people alive. But as it stands right now, the plane was carrying about 64 people, 60 passengers, 4 crew, and it was one of those smaller jets. And I believe and the helicopter was carrying 3. So in total, we lost about 67 souls last night. It was really crazy. And as they say, we don't have a lot of plane crashes in the U.S. It's a very rare occurrence, very seldom occurrence, and these are just. It just lets you know that like sometimes even in the best of times, you can still be in the worst of times, and you got to be grateful and thankful for everything because it's a crazy time. So then again, my heart goes out to all the people that lost their lives, the families of all these people that passed away. There were so many people waiting for them at Reagan too, and you see all these people that were mid-flight texting their loved ones, because you can do that when you have airplane Wi-Fi and if you have T-Mobile or something like that. So it's crazy. And the CEO of American Airlines came out on television, and he put a message out. Good for him. He got on there as soon as possible. He's a great guy. I looked into him. He's a great guy, that one. He seems like a decent guy. He seems like a really cool guy. He's actually really big. I'm not saying he's big in politics, but they made sure that on their Wikipedia page, on his Wikipedia page in particular, they made sure that they mentioned that this man donates to the PAC, to the American Airlines PAC. I don't know very much about the American Airlines PAC. I can't tell you if it's a super PAC or not, a hybrid PAC, or if it's just specified. I don't know, but they made sure to let me know that he was a part of the PAC. This is great work. But overall, it's pretty crazy. It's a lot. It's crazy. There's so much going on. So many investigations. They're saying that they need to have an investigation go on with this thing. But I mean, we already saw the video. There's angles of this video going around on social media, and based off of what we saw, I mean, come on. It's a no-brainer. The helicopter caused the crash, but we didn't know what was going on in this, in communications route. But based on Donald Trump's, revealing what some of the communications looked like, it was obvious that not only was this a human error, an error of the military helicopter. It was a military helicopter, by the way. But it was also, poor communication. And on top of that, we found out there was like no head of the FAA. We had no head of the FAA this entire time. I'm not saying that that's the reason why, because obviously that was not the reason why. They're not being ahead of the FAA because people are going crazy on social media. Oh, there's no head of the FAA. This is why this happened. This did not happen because there was no head of the FAA. Let me be honest with you. Number one, this crash is not a result of there having been no head of the FAA. That's not the reason. Because apparently we've been having flights going in and out for a long time without one. And there hasn't been a crash. It's the first crash since 2009. And you think it's because we didn't have a head of the FAA? No. That's not why. That is definitely not why. It's human error. It was a mistake. Things happen, and, things fucking happen. And apparently something really bad happened. So I apologize. I hope that everyone's okay. But families are, I listened to this man, a husband, talk about it, losing his wife. Not only did he lose his wife, he lost his wife and his adopted son, but his wife and his son. And he was very torn up about it. Poor thing, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. He said he hopes that things will go, that he and his other son, they're gonna have to get through this together, and we're gonna see what we can make sure that everything's okay. A lot of figure skaters, man. I mean, they're killing it. One of them, apparently, the boy had a lot of followers on social media with the figure skating, and we just recently had a series of social media posts come out about figure skaters in figure skating competitions recently. I swear to God, recently had so much content about the figure skaters. It's crazy to see that this has happened, because there was a bunch of content, and I remember they were talking about this one girl. She was digging through the trash, but it wasn't actually the trash. It was a bunch of teddy bears. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Then you have this woman on Twitter, on X, talking about calling Donald Trump cis and saying this is all like a cis people this and cis people that and all this other nonsense. And I was just like, dude, this is exactly why the Republican Party is pissed off with the LGBTQ community. That's exactly why. I feel like because some people just do too fucking much, bro. They do too much. They say too much. They go for the extremes, and it makes us look bad. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, no!" But they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to be like, "Oh, no, no, no." Look, you being frustrated is all right. Being upset is okay. Not liking leadership is okay. But man, ugh. Some of the things that people say in the LGBTQ community about Republicans and straight people is a very fucking reason why Republicans and straight people continue to attack us. The very exact reason, because I think that we don't need this people this and this and that. I'm not even gonna get into it. It's unnecessary. Just know it's unnecessary. And I thought it was unnecessary. I thought it was definitely not necessary to say. I thought it was the wrong thing to say, and I also think that everyone's wearing blinders. And I know that when it comes to politics, everybody's always like, a lot of people favor their own party. But I think it's time for us to start being open minded and having common sense all around. Enough to say, okay, I understand this, I understand that, I get what you're saying, but I understand, but I agree with you, but I agree with you here, but I disagree with you here. So that's what we need more of. But whatever. Anyway, back to the session. Kamala Harris made a post on social media. There's been several different posts on social media about people wishing, the best to their families, the hearts going out to the families and things like that. It's pretty crazy. Donald Trump blamed DEI, and social media's been going insane. Social media's been going crazy. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, he said you blamed DEI for the crash, DEI," and then I don't think people know what DEI stands for. I don't think. Well, people know what DEI is for, but I think people forget what DEI is for because, like, when we talk about DEI, everyone's like, "Oh my God, race." It's all about race. Well, DEI isn't like only race. Like I think like we are at like a point in society like today in 2025 we're at a point in society where while some people still blame everything on race, 98% of society does not care what your fucking complexion looks like. 98% of society doesn't care. The only people that care about your complexion might be like old people. Like old people. Old people might care. Old people and ignorant people might care, and stupid people with mental health issues might care about your complexion. But we're at a point in society where like most people don't care about like unless they're from like a different country or something, or you might have lived off grid for some period of time. It's just we're at a point in time where most people don't really care about your race. Like they either have to like literally be racist, be super old, and come from a different time, be ignorant, mentally ill. There's so many different reasons why. But we're at a point where like 98% of society, well, let's say 98% of society doesn't care about your complexion. Like we don't care enough, pretty much, about your complexion to like not hire you. Like now we're at a point where it's all about, do you fit that mold, or do you fit that image, do you fit that's personality, do you fit the energy? And what that means has nothing to do with your like complexion. That literally might mean that, hey, do you have the vibe that we're looking for? Like we want a certain vibe. Is this the vibe that we're gonna get here? DEI includes disability, like so you're disabled. You're disabled population. Disabled, you can be disabled at any complexion. You can be disabled at any race, at any age. So your DEI is really like your disabled population. This is your disabled population, your disabled vets, and disability, if you've ever filled out a job application, disability counts as several things under an umbrella, which it could include ADHD, autism, you might be missing a limb, you might have some other condition, you might have a STD. STD is a disability. STD is a disability. An STD is a disability. If you go out and get chlamydia, that's a disability. Even if you could take a pill. Chlamydia is a disability. AIDS is a disability. Illness is a disability. You know, you might be missing a finger. That's a disability. You know, you might be a disabled vet. You might have gone to war and got your leg blown off, your feet blown off, your fingers blown off, your arm blown off, your face blown off. You might be depressed. Depression is a disability. You might be depressed. You might be sleeping on the couch 24/7. You never know. You might be overweight. Obesity is a disability, but being overweight also counts as a DEI thing. You might be too skinny. You might be anorexic. DEI. You might, what do you call it? You might not be able to, you might not be strong. You might be weak and frail. You might be older. You might be over 65. DEI. 65. Over 65 is DEI. People who retire and go back to work. Retirees. DEI. So all of that stuff accounts as DEI. And especially in the tech world with Elon fucking Musk and Zuckerberg over here running around talking about, oh my God, DEI must die. Because DEI is what Musk and Zuckerberg hate, and most of the tech people hate, because in the tech world, there is this thing where where you don't get hired as much after 35. After the age of 35, if you're in tech, your chances of getting hired, like, go down. They plummet, because the younger you are, the more likely you are to get hired. Like software engineering, things like that in tech, they want you fresh out of college. In fact, they don't even want you fresh out of college. They want you fresh out of high school. That's what they want. They want the tech people that are coming straight out of high school. They don't even want the ones that are just like, oh, well, we have to go to college and study this because we've never touched a line of code before. If you really want to do something in tech, you got to start doing that shit when you're 5 years old. Your mother has to put you in front of a Python or JavaScript right now. As soon as you walk out the womb, she's got to tell you, this is Python, this is Java, this is HTML, this is iOS, this is Linux. Because they will take you the younger you are. So I mean, it's like soccer. It's like football. It's like football. The younger you are, the better. If you guys know anything about football and soccer, you know anything about that, you know that you get a job and you can go pro before you even hit college. American football is like, you have to go to college, you have to go to high school, then you have to get into college, and then you have to go to the NFL. You can't go from high school to the NFL. But if you're playing like soccer and football, like European football, sorry, you'll get drafted in high school. Like football gets you drafted in high school. By American terms, in America, football is called soccer. But you get the point. You get drafted in high school. You'll be 15 playing with a bunch of fucking 30-year-olds on a field. And people are just and I think people don't realize that. A lot of people do not realize that. And because even though soccer is like a sport that people play in the US, it's not highly popularized as it is in other parts of the world. So there isn't enough American players coming out of high school, but there are European and people coming out of high school. We have like probably like we try to get as much American football players as possible coming straight out of high school because you're going to get drafted to Red Bull New York at 16. You know that if your mom puts you right now, puts you in little league football, little league soccer or something, you know if you keep playing this shit, keep doing very well, there's a good chance that you're gonna have a full paying job before you even hit 18. But nowadays everyone's like, oh yeah, no, we have to be an influencer because like kids are now influencers and now you have like all these kid influencers opening toys and making millions of dollars and people are completely forgetting that there are billions of other avenues to get your kids money before they turn 18. Like a million and half of them are in basic shit. And I'm not trying to be judgment because I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying I see there's an opportunity like in everything, but we all like stick our kids in like these one particular parts and it's like, yeah, no, that dude could already have like $1 million contract at 16, like right now. He could be sitting like why is he waiting until going through like a full like you can still go to school, you can still go to college, obviously, but you could have a $10 million contract over your head before you even graduate high school. Why why blow that opportunity? Why blow that opportunity? You know? So there's like all these really cool things that are just like out there for doing these really super cool things, which has nothing to do with DEI. But the point is, when it comes to DEI, again, age, gender, sex, disability, it's all basically that. And most of the times they try not to focus too. I mean, like, and it used to be about sex more or less, but nowadays it's not even about sex so much. Like, I mean, on a technicality, like, yeah, because like in certain tech firms, like it's majority male. So then they try to like because of DEI, you have to bring in like some females. And then when you talk about DEI might die, you must kill DEI and get rid of DEI. Like yeah, merit based stuff is cool, but like we have to like you have to have the merits, and then it's like even if you have the merits, like you don't necessarily have to hire said person. With DEI now no longer existing, you can pretty much just hire whoever you want to. I mean, if you have the money, you can pretty much hire whoever the fuck you want to, whether they have the merit or not. And the next thing with DEI is DEI also lets you hire people who don't have the merit. So like if somebody has like the degree, but they don't have the experience. Like you could hire them with the degree and no experience, or you could hire them with the experience and no degree, which is what they're trying to say is like, hey, you shouldn't necessarily need this, blah, 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 which is cool. But if my thing is like, once you're getting rid of like DEI, why not just toss that shit out the way too? You could just be like, hey, well, if this is the case, then you don't technically need a degree to do this. Because if it's all like merit based, what's even the point of that? Why do you need all that? It's too much. Shouldn't you be focused on something else? I feel like this is the problem that we have. And this is why the Democrats are in the position that they are in. Because they're letting too much shit slide. It's like Republicans, you're gonna hate me for this. You are gonna fucking hate me for this shit. Everybody's gonna hate me for this. But it's like parents. It's like when you have two parents that have different parenting style, mommy and daddy. Right? Or daddy and dad. I don't give a fuck what your parents, your family life looks like. But I'm saying it's like you're having two parents who have two different parenting styles, and the American people are the children. Doesn't matter how old you are. As far as politics are concerned, you are their dependent, right? And you are like running between them. Oh, we want this one. This one does this. We want this one. This one's more stern than this one. That one's less stern than that one. It comes like, what kind of shit is that? They refuse. Okay, how do I explain this? Somebody's gonna put their foot down. And the Republicans notoriously have always been the one to put their foot down. In the past, the Democrats have been the one to put their foot down. But because of how society decided we wanted to change and modernize and be more progressive, the Democrats have let their foot up a little bit. The problem is, it's starting to seem like the Democrats not only let their foot up, but also decided to take their hands off the fucking steering wheel. Because 19 Hillary Clinton is a Democrat who never supported same-sex marriage. Never. I don't know if everybody remembers that. She hated same-sex marriage. She was like, look, I love you guys. Equal rights. No same-sex marriage. All right? And then, she lightened up to it. She opened up to it. All right, fine. We'll give you same-sex marriage. Because you know what? Everybody deserves a two-parent household. Everybody deserves to be married. Fine. We'll give you same-sex marriage. Next thing you know, they got... I almost went into my accent. Holy shit. I got caught that so fast. The next thing you know, we have taken our foot off the gas, taken our hands off the steering wheel. This is not even an automatic car. This is a gas guzzler. We're not even looking at the road. At this point, we're sipping Bud Light and yes, I'm looking at you, Bud Light. At this point, we're sipping Bud Light in the driver's seat. We don't know what we're doing. And I was like, the Democrats need to do an audit. Because it's not to say that the Democrats are a bad party. The Democrats is not a bad party. It's just like the Democrats have forgotten the fact that, we still, even in a modern and progressive time, there still needs to be there still needs to be guidelines. There needs to be yellow lines. There needs to be yellow lines. There's white lines on the road, and then there's yellow lines. There still needs to be those lines that we don't cross. And I feel like the Democrats have crossed those lines too many times, to the point where those lines no longer exist. And we just allow too much stuff now. And it's so stressful to me. It's so stressful. Demisexual. What the fuck is a demisexual? Look, you could just be bisexual. No one cares. No one cares. First of all, it was like straight, gay, and bisexual. Nobody even says bisexual anymore. Now they go like, oh, I'm demi and this and that. Look, hey, if you're into polygamy, just say so. Just say so. No one's gonna judge you. Because there are still tons of countries that are into that stuff. And tons of people who are into that stuff who will be down with you. You go down to Utah right now, you could be a sister wife, okay? We don't care. But all this extra stuff, no. First of all, ask Democrats this, right? If you are so I'm not gonna say it. I feel like I'm being disrespectful. I don't want to be disrespectful. But how could you allow all this stuff, but you don't allow polygamy? Next on the table, Democrats legalize polygamy. That's not funny, but I'm just saying. It's crazy. And I'm not saying this to be offensive. I don't want anyone to think that I'm being disrespectful, and I don't want anyone to be upset with me. But I'm trying to be honest and where we are. We've taken our hands off the fucking steering wheel, and we have just completely driven into the fucking what is it called? A corn bush, the corn patch, the cornfields. Just driven into the cornfield blindly. All right, we'll allow it. Donald Trump gets in office and he's like, fuck no, we're not doing that. Absolutely not. I'm not saying that we should adopt. I'm not saying we need to completely adopt every single Republican view. But I think that as Democrats, we need to be more stern in saying no. Not maybe. No, fuck no. N-O. Hell to the no. We gotta say no more. I feel like when Democrats start saying no more, they'll get more respect. I'm not saying that Democrats are not respected, but hear me out. Democrats are not respected. And they're not respected for that reason of not being able to say no. It's great to care about people. It's great to want people to succeed. But sometimes you gotta know how to say fucking no. And the Democrats need to say no. And they should have said no with a lot of shit. They should have said no with a lot. Trust me, they should have. Okay? Keep same-sex marriage though, because we want to keep like, two people in a household. Don't go like fucking, what is that called? Ultra religious on me. Well, initially I was going to talk about this protest thing. When Kamala Harris was running for like president, the Democrats completely handed the Republicans that presidency. I don't think there's anything they could have done to save that. They handed him that presidency. I was watching the inauguration. The inauguration and I were in two different time zones because when I woke up, it was already on. And I saw Hillary Clinton laughing at fucking Donald Trump when he said, we're changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And I was like, look at fucking Mark Zuckerberg was staring at Bezos's girlfriend. Jeff Bezos is proposed to that woman. She's his fiance. I forgot her name. I apologize. I forgot her name. It's at the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember her name. He proposed to her, so she's his fiance. It's a basic. It's like we know she is his fiance. Zuckerberg was at the inauguration staring at this woman's chest like a fucking 5-year-old. Like, dude, like, how old are you? You're like, and I'm not, listen, this is why they call you nerds. This is why they call Zuckerberg a fucking nerd, because he did some weird shit. Why are you staring at Bezos' girlfriend's boobs, bro? Why are you staring at her chest? She's looking at Donald Trump watching the inauguration, and Zuckerberg's eyes are in her bosom. Like, the camera's on you, dude. I feel like Zuckerberg forgot where he was. He completely forgot where he was. The camera is on you, bro. Like, there is a camera on you. And your eyes are on her. The fucked up part was his wife was beside him. First of all, I watched every video because I wanted to see like every angle of this. So I went doing some fucking research. Let me tell you something, bro. Zuckerberg walked into that rotunda. Zuckerberg walks into the rotunda, lets his wife, he walks ahead of his wife, puts his wife on the other side of him so that Bezos' girl could be beside on the other side of him. He knew exactly what he was doing. Because no camera angle picked up Mrs. Zuck. No camera angle that had Zuckerberg staring at that woman's bosom picked up Mrs. Zuckerberg on the other side of Zuckerberg. Literally to the point where the American people have no idea his wife was right beside him while he was staring at another woman's chest. And I was like, holy shit, this is fun. This is disgusting. I can't imagine what was happening when he got home. His wife had to see it. There's no way that she did not see that. One, she was in the room. Two, she had to find out from a social media post that her husband was staring at another woman's bosom for like, he gave that, first of all, and Zuckerberg, listen, you're like a 5-year-old, bro. He's like a teenager. He looked at it, smiled, did like a little giggly thing, and then he just like looks back up like, oh wow, oh wow, look at that. And everyone's mad at Bezos' girlfriend, Bezos' fiance. Everyone's mad at her. Everyone's like, oh my God, why would you wear that? You shouldn't have worn that. Listen. Oh, listen, I'm not here to be the alt right savior of women. She can wear whatever she wants to. She can wear whatever she wants to. But she can wear whatever she wants to. Whatever. But the fact, listen, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. If you, it's there's such a thing called peripheral vision. There's something called peripheral vision. Zuckerberg, I know you stare at computer screens all day, so yours might not be working as well as they fucking should. Okay, but peripheral vision exists so you don't have to directly drop your fucking iris in another woman's bosom while your wife is beside you in front of a fucking camera on something being live streamed. Like, what is wrong? It was so fucking. Listen, Zuck, dude. People went looking. I don't know if this is fake or like legit, but people quite literally went looking at looking up her Instagram likes on her posts. Dude, I don't even follow Bezos' girlfriend on Instagram, and I talk about everybody's wife, and I don't even follow her on Instagram. I should probably follow her now. You know what? I'm not gonna do that because I feel like that's disrespectful. I give it like 2 more months because at least I have some self-respect. Oh, dude was like fucking in her, like he was in there, all smirking, like, ooh, wow. Like, what did you want? You gonna ask her where she got her bra or something? You want one of hers? You want to go buy one for yourself? For your wife, maybe? What was this? Checking it out for her? I wonder what Mrs. Zuck said. She was probably pissed. I wonder if Zuckerberg's ever been slapped by his wife. Like, not in like a bad way. And also not in like a super erotic way either. Like, in a, she's pissed off at you and you just have to be like a man about it and be like, fuck it, whatever. She probably yelled at him. She's probably pissed. What if she's pregnant? What if your wife was pregnant? Would you do that? So fucked up. Anyway, besides that, bro. Oh my god. And there was somebody else in the back there trying to get a view too. I don't even know that guy. I think that was a football player that Trump hired. The former NFL dude. Okay. So another, like, let's get back to this whole thing about let's get back. I said this a while ago about Hamas and Palestine. Their shit, like their protesters, no hate, actually all the hate, but their protesters like never protested at Donald Trump's rally during the election. They never did. They never even showed up in the same cities. Like, isn't that ironic? They never showed up in the same city as Donald Trump, but they were in every city as Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, like, they were in Chicago and they planned that out. They're like, Kamala Harris is coming to Chicago. We have to plan out a protest to do this. Oh, Donald Trump was in Chicago. I don't think he was. He might have been. I don't know. Donald Trump was in a blue state. Why didn't any of those protesters come out? Why not? Why not? Come on. Protest at a Trump rally. Why not? What are you so fucking afraid of? Oh, let me guess. He's not going to take you seriously? Security's going to take you out? Security's going to walk you out? They're not going to let you in? You're probably going to get arrested before you even put up your sign? Huh? Yeah, okay. This is the problem. This is the fucking problem. This is why I said the Democrats are giving people too much leeway. Way too much leeway. When I saw, when Kamala Harris was in Chicago doing her thing, God, she's so fucking hot. Sorry. She's in, I apologize for saying that. Listen, she was in Chicago, and they came out there and they were protesting. Michelle's over there, everybody's over there. And it's just terrible. I mean, come on, bro. And like, she's like, and all those people that got arrested, like, they legit should be getting like treasonous charges. You should be charged for treason for that. And I told her, I literally said this was so fucking stupid. I said it on my older podcasts, older versions, older sessions, and I also said it on Twitter. I also wrote it on Twitter. I was like, look, these people, these protesters that are saying we're gonna vote for Trump, we're not gonna vote for Kamala Harris because Biden is funding a war in Gaza and all this nonsense. I literally said that that's going to be a stupid decision because Donald Trump is not going to support that. They're voting for Donald Trump to be spiteful of Harris and Biden when in reality, it didn't matter who they voted for. It honestly did not matter who they voted for. They thought that they could just be spiteful to Biden and Harris and like, oh my God, like, we'll go vote for Trump because we're not going to vote for you because you're paying for this and that and the other. It doesn't even matter because, like, I posted it a million times. I like, it does not matter who you vote for. Neither one of them is going to stop it. They're going to call it ceasefire because they both want the same thing. They both want the hostages free and for Israel to prosper. What do you think's going to happen now that the Gaza Strip is all bombed up and everything like that? They're going to have to re-fucking build it. Who's going to rebuild it? Who do you think's going to go over there and rebuild everything? And if they don't rebuild it, it's probably for a good reason. Do you honestly think they're going to I mean, they have tunnels. They had all those tunnels and stuff underneath like their churches and their schools and their hospitals, and everybody was getting mad. Oh my God, they're dropping bombs on the hospital. Then why is the tunnel entrance under the hospital? Why is there a tunnel entrance under our hospital? Why is there a tunnel entrance under the mosque? Oh my God, they're bombing the mosque. Why is the tunnel under the mosque? Why? You did that on purpose. You did that shit on purpose. If you did not, they had to know that Israel would bomb the mosque if the tunnel's underneath there. They knew that. They knew exactly what they're doing. They're not fucking stupid. They did it on purpose because they wanted Israel to look bad. Oh my God, this is what they did. No, don't do that. What the fuck? Don't do. And then like everybody is in the street like, oh my God, no, bro, because you're stupid. You believe everything that you hear, and you don't do your own research because you're ignorant. You're like, what? You are so fucking. It's stupid. They put the tunnels underneath the church, underneath the school, underneath the hospital. It was so fucked up. It was so fucked up. And I felt bad. I still feel bad. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for everyone. Because at the end of the day, they used their own people as shields. They used their own people as shields. They used their own injured as shields. They used their own place of worship as a shield. They used their own children as a shield. You know how fucked up that is? How sacrilegious and shit that is? You can't sit here and talk about how godly and holy you are and praise Allah and all of this stuff when you're going to turn around and put your own people in danger like this. That's fucked up. That's so messed up. That's so disrespectful. I can't even respect that. I can't. Because I think that's messed up. I really think that is the most fucked up thing in the world. I think it's terrible. The first thing that I said is what they're doing is wrong. Because not only is what they're doing wrong, but they're selling it, and the way that they're selling it is wrong as well. They're blaming it on the Israelis, saying the Israelis are doing this on purpose. No, you are the one doing this on purpose. Because at the end of the day, if you actually cared about your people, cared about your children, cared about your injured, cared about the youth, cared about your holy places, you would not do that. You wouldn't put it underneath there. If you actually cherished your religion in the way that you said you did, you would not put that tunnel under a mosque. You would never do that. If those children mattered to you, the lives of those children mattered to you, you would have never put that under a school. If you cared so much about the sick, the elderly, and the injured, you would never put it under a hospital. You wouldn't do that. So why would you do it? To make the Israelis look bad? The Israelis are not going to be the one who looks bad. Because at the end of the day, while the rest of the world might be ignorant towards what's going on, anybody with a brain can see what's going on, and the people with the brains are the ones in leadership. And they could march and protest as much as they want to. They're not the ones making the rules. So the people who are making the rules are the ones who see what's going on, and they're not going to listen to a bunch of fucking followers of some stupid shit. It's like, what? They're not going to listen to the ignorant. They're going to look at what's happening, and they're going to make the rules by that. And those people can protest from now until next year. No one's going to give a shit because we know that we made the right decision as the people in politics. The people outside of politics are acting like they're fucking, ignorant. If you're going to be ignorant, then be ignorant. That's why you're in a fucking jail cell with a fucking record now for protesting something that you obviously couldn't take 2 seconds to pay attention and read about. This is what happens when you are a follower and not a fucking leader. Jesus. Listen, growing up, my mother told me one thing every day until the day that I potentially die. Do not be a follower, be a leader, even if you have no followers. You don't need fans. You don't need disciples. You don't need any of that. As long as you know that where you stand is the right place to stand. You don't need anybody else to be like, oh my God, you don't need anybody else to kiss your ass. Kiss your own ass. Get flexible. Okay, get fucking flexible. Because you're not gonna do that. That's garbage. I don't understand that. They were interviewing a lady, and she was like, "Oh my God, the Israelis did that," and I was like, "No, they didn't." I was like, "Where?" And the interviewer was like, "Where did you get this information?" And she was like, "Well, I heard it from someone else." And I just sat there like, okay. Okay, and they were like, and who are you? She was like, well, I'm here with my kids. I was like, oh God. The next generation is fucked. They are screwed because that's stupid. What you heard this from someone? Did you look it up? Read an article? Do some research, maybe? Do your own independent research to make sure that you're standing on the right side? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You heard it from Tom, and then and Tom told you it was wrong, and you were like, yeah, Tom, it's wrong. You didn't even say, hold on, Tom, let me check. Tom, no, I think this is the wrong thing, Tom. I don't think I agree with you. Come here, Tom. Look at this. Look what it says, Tom. You didn't even try to guide Tom to the right place either. You were just like, yeah, Tom, whatever you say. You know what? You know what happens to people like that? People who just blindly follow shit? People who do that end up as disciples of people like Jim Jones. Fucking drinking the Kool-Aid. Fucking swallowing cyanide because you think it's fucking, because you think it's what do you call it, Sour Patch Kids. Jesus fucking Christ! I'm sorry for cursing, but I mean, like, come on. The next thing you're gonna, this is people who do stuff like that are end up being disciples of people like Jim Jones, Charles Manson, and all these other people. They blindly follow people. They need some place to be, some place to belong. They can't stay by themselves for too long. They have to join something, and then they can't have to join something. They have to join it ignorantly. They can't say, let me look into something. All the technological advancements, and you can't take 2 seconds to research, fact check, or like, come technological. We have AI exists. Type in the AI. What's going on? You could have fucking done that. No, 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 no. No, Tom said this is the truth. Tom doesn't even know what day it is. Tom probably has no idea what month we're in right now. Jesus Christ. Tom probably lives in his mother's basement. What is going on? Like, what is happening? It's like, and then there were so many of them. There were so many of them. Thousands of people across the globe. I was like, what in the First of all, I was like, I've never seen so many dumb people before. This is number one. I've never seen so many ignorant people in my life. Ever. Never. That was the first thing for me. I've never seen that many ignorant people in my life. And they were willing to die for it. And I was like, holy shit. What is happening? I thought, and these are people with degrees. Half of them have PhDs. I was like, oh, no, 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 no. This is the end of it. We are going to die. Society is not going to survive. We are the ones in danger of being extinct. Because what the fuck is this? Listen, they were blindly following this shit, and I was like, no fucking way. And they were willing to be arrested and go to jail for something that they didn't even research. I was like, holy shit. And then the celebrities. The celebrities were the worst part. That's when I lost it. That's when I fucking lost it. When the celebrities were like, yeah, you're on. I was like, oh no. Oh no. Imagine Fire Island. It was like Fire Island all over again. Oh my god. What? Oh my goodness. A simple Google search would have told you what was really going on. They didn't even Google it. And then the ones who finally did Google it, they were just like, yes, but this is wrong. And we said, but no. You're missing the point. You're missing what's happening. And then they try to butter you up and get down on you, like, yes, but look at all the lives that died and were like this and this and that, and the people that were, they put their tunnels under schools, and unfortunately use those schools as shields. They basically told them, you could either kill all of these children or get your people back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was like Scream. You ever see the movies? It was like a movie. It was like that movie. What is that? That movie with the mask, big tiny dude, that says, "Oh, you could cut off your finger. You could cut off You could cut off your finger, or some random person in a different country will die. Yeah, that's exactly what that was. It was like a sick, psychopathic mind game. Or sociopathic, one of the two. It was like a sick mind game. It was like they were fucking with everybody's psychology. Blow up this school with 35, like 300 children, or get your people back. Or to get your people back, or don't blow this up, and we probably come back and harm you. Yeah, people are fucking stupid. That's literally what was going on there. It was like a sick mind game for them. Donald Trump gets in office and was like, hey, you can either let these hostages go, or I'm going to listen to what Tyler said. Damn right, because I said drop a fucking nuke on them. That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, these are the games that we're going to play? I'll drop a fucking nuke on you right now. That's the problem. See, this is the fucking problem. This is why I can't be president. Because you can't play those games with me. Oh, we're going to do this now. Okay, well, drop a nuke. Drop a nuke. One nuke. That's it. We'll go back to the fucking ice age together. Immediately. Because we're not doing this. You're not gonna destroy other people's lives. Kidnap the people. Some of those girls that they took from the Israelis, they sold them into fucking sex trafficking, and they had to go back and get them girls. And then Hamas was to come out, oh my God, look at us, we're all in masks, and all this nonsense. What? Drop a fucking nuke on those guys, just for the hell of it now. Because that was stupid. It was a sick mind game to play with people. It was a sick mind game to play with people in the world. And you had people in Australia. Australia was ready to deport everybody. The Australian government was literally like, if we catch you outside, we will deport you. If you go protesting, we will fucking deport you. You're not even an Australian citizen. We're going to deport you just for doing that. And I was like, hell yeah. Because somebody's got to tell these people what they're doing is irate. Man. But they didn't do that outside of Donald Trump's rallies. You know that? They did not go protesting outside of Trump rallies because what? Trump wasn't going to listen to them. And Trump was at Madison Square Garden. He was in Manhattan. And they did not even go protest in Manhattan. Look at that. Look at that. They always do this bullshit with the Democrats. Because they think they can get away with it with the Democrats, but they don't do it with the Republicans. You understand me? They always do this garbage with the Democrats, and they never do it with the Republicans. They never sit down and say, you know what? Let's go protest at a Republicans rally. First of all, they'd never get in, number one. Second, even if they did get in, they'd never get any attention. Third, if they happen to get in, the Republican constituents themselves would remove them. You can't fucking do that. So what is wrong with the Democratic Party? Republican or Democrat, it's still a democracy, right? Yes. So as far as I'm concerned, why are you picking and choosing which side you protest? If you had all the gall to protest at Paris, why not go protest right now in front of the White House? Yeah, go do that. I'd love to see you fucking go do that and see what happens with the Secret Service. I'd love to see you do it. But you do it when Biden and Harris are in office because you think you can get away with it. Even though they're arresting you. Oh, Lord, you guys are fucking ridiculous. I can't take you seriously. Hamas protesters. We're not voting for Harris Biden if they don't stop the war. We'll vote for Trump instead. Stupid. They go vote for Trump. All right, go Trump. Let's send all the Palestinians to Egypt and all the surrounding countries because there's too much trouble here anyway. We'll go ahead and give this to Israel. Israel could take all of this over. Like what? What did you expect? There's nothing there anymore. Now what are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do. Everybody shut the fuck up now. You realize that, right? Nobody's saying anything now. Not a soul is saying a word. And even if they were saying a word, nobody could fucking hear them because no one's giving them a fucking mic at all. Because you know what? You had a chance to do some research and stand on the right side, and you chose on the opposite. No one's giving you a mic. But I do like the fact that I will say this to Donald Trump though. I do like the fact that he's doing this thing where he's allowing new media to come in. New media can officially come in and what do you call it? Where he gave out their new media website and was like, "Hey, new journalists, come on in and speak with us." Because you know what, Matt Black is looking for interns. We are looking for interns, more interns. Actually, we want more interns, and the reason we want more interns is because we want more employees. Okay, and because we want more employees, it means we want to give out more fucking jobs. Okay, we want to give more jobs, which means we want more people, which means we want more people who like being on camera and off camera, and we want more people who do stuff in the office, and we want more people who do things with tax, and we want more people to do finances, and we want more people to do executive stuff, and we want more people to invest, and we want more people to just do stuff, and we want more people to view, we want more people to listen, we want more politics, more politicians, more music, more awesome stuff. Hey! Alright, cool. Thank you for listening, and uh, I'm sorry about being hyper for the entire episode, and it was really riled up because this is I'm really into this stuff, some of it, and a lot of it is really important to me, and I get really excited when I talk about politics, so I do have to apologize about that. Aside from that, I think it's a very awesome topic. It was a very, not a really awesome topic, because it was a few different topics. There's a lot of topics. I touched on a lot of things. There was a lot. Um, anyway, besides that, this entire thing was off script. I apologize for that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for somehow deciding that it was a good idea to listen to someone with ADHD. I don't know why you decided upon that, but that probably was the worst idea you've ever had. But you stuck through it, so that's good. Yeah. And well, this is basically the outro. You guys know my social media. Follow, like, stream, listen, view, read. Everything's under MVTT, BLVC. It's Matt Black, and yeah, I'll see you guys in session 10. All right, bye.